Hey guys, it's Hector here, and I wanted to talk about this kind of a weird challenge that's been going around. I know there's been a bunch of stupid challenges out there, like setting yourself on fire, and then there was the Ice Bucket Challenge, which wasn't stupid. It was raising money for ALS, and there's just a bunch of challenges out there. But there's been this one challenge that's been kind of going around recently, where people stand on the American flag. And I think it's usually just American people standing on their own flag, and they do it because they think it's funny or they'll get attention or something. I'm not entirely sure. But some people get really, really upset. And I'm not one of those people because, well, I'll go into that in a second. Well, people, there's this whole flag code and stuff like that for the US, and I'm sure it's the same all around the world. If you stand on any country's flag, then it's kind of disrespectful to that country, and people get really upset. And so people are just doing it for some stupid challenge and putting it on YouTube or Facebook. And I don't think this challenge has really taken off, but it has made people get incredibly upset. And of course, it's not illegal in the United States. I don't know if it's illegal to do that in other countries, but in the United States, it's protected under the First Amendment in our Constitution, which is freedom of speech and a bunch of other freedoms in that First Amendment. And there has been certain cases revolving or relating to the flag, and one was actually lighting a flag on fire. And so they kind of went through all that and said, well, you're pretty much allowed to light a flag on fire because that's kind of a freedom of speech thing. So a lot of people get really, really upset and try and spread the word of anybody who does this. Like, oh, this is this person, this is their name, so shame them or whatever, etc., etc. And I think that's going a little too far because a lot of time these are just young, stupid people and they're just doing it for attention or because they think it's funny or whatever. And so you just gotta ignore those people. And I know that because even if you do horrible things because of freedom of speech, that doesn't mean there's freedom of consequences. There's usually a lot of consequences that go with that. But like I said, a lot of times they're usually just dumb kids doing stupid stuff online. Imagine if the internet was around when you were young. I'm sure there'd be a lot of stuff of you online, and then the entire world will know about all the stupid things you did. You know, sometimes you gotta cut people some slack. But even if we're talking about an adult, I'm sure some people will get upset and all that. But for me, I kind of covered this in other videos, my whole thoughts on the US flag. It's just not as important to me as other people because I just see it as cloth or fabric or whatever it's made out of, because, you know, flags are made out of different things. But it's just, to me, it's like the hashtag activism type stuff that people have been getting into recently. Like people who get really into certain issues and devote a ton of time and money into certain things, and then they just see somebody kind of just share a story online or do a hashtag, and they're like, you know, what is this? This isn't anything. This is just hashtag activism. You're not doing anything like I am. So in my mind, just stomping on a flag isn't really doing anything. You're just stomping on a piece of fabric. If you actually took actions against the United States on some level, like trying to change laws or attacking the United States in a terroristic activity, those are the type of things where I will hate on you for or speak out against you on. But just standing on a flag, it's just like, okay, you're just standing on a flag. Who cares? Whatever. But of course, not everybody sees it the same way I do. I've tried to talk to people about this sort of stuff, but they just get so upset and they just fly off the handle, and you just can't talk to people like that or talk to people about that kind of stuff. So that's pretty much my thoughts on this whole matter and subject. And I guess that's it. Leave a comment below giving me your thoughts on the whole subject. Do you disagree with me or do you agree with me? You can disagree with me, but you do not have to freak out and start calling me a bunch of names and all that stuff. You're allowed to under the US Constitution and all that, but do you really have to? Alright, that's about it, so see you guys later.